Hello and welcome to another edition of It's Your City. I'm Bob Crowell and I have the honor and privilege of being the mayor of the greatest city in Nevada, our very own capital. And as you know, every couple of weeks I give a little rundown of what happened at the last board meeting in case you didn't either attend, watch, or read about it. And I think we're also going to be starting a process where other boards of supervisors can rotate through this spot, which is a good thing. So you don't have to always look or listen to me. So let me just talk a little bit about what happened at the last board meeting on October 3rd. First, during public comment, we heard from Joanne Carrington of Joanne Holmes of the Carrington Group that owns the old Gottschalk Mall. And she was there to, one, thank the city for its efforts in helping to redevelop that mall, and particularly bringing in Sportsman's Warehouse, which will be opening sometime early, I think March, April timeframe of next year. She also indicated that they are actively working with another national retailer to fill the rest of that space there at the old Gottschalk's position in the mall, which is a good thing. And so one, I want to thank the Carrington Company for investing in our community. And while I say that, I'm told from what I heard during the board meeting that the Carrington Company now owns the old Station Grill, so they are looking at marketing that as well. And so I think, the message I received from them is that they're doing what they can to put some money and investment and time into upgrading the Carson Mall, and that's a good thing. Also, we heard during public comment from Lee Gibson, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Washoe County Regional Transportation Commission. There is a group created, it's called the Regional Shared Federal Network Group, and it's a group of northern entities primarily interested in road issues that are trying to get together to get a priority system in place for bringing back a consistent message to our congressional delegation with respect to the allocation of federal funds, if there are any, to our northern Nevada area here. I haven't been able to attend many of those meetings because they always seem to be held on Board of Supervisors days, but we are going to have a representative attend those meetings as they go forward, and we'll see how that plays out. It's another attempt at regional cooperation, and from my own personal point of view, regional cooperation is usually a very good thing to do in terms of gaining, one, a unified voice, but two, gaining economies of scale when we spread out the costs of infrastructure requirements. So that's what happened during the public comment period. And then during the business meeting itself, one of the big things that happened there, and from the public testimony, it's a very big thing, and that is that the board agreed to provide $75,000 in seed money to create a state fair for the sesquicentennial year, the last part of July or first part of August at Fuji Park. There was a lot of discussion at the board meeting about, that $75,000 coming from the general fund out of the contingency fund. There was a lot of discussion as to whether or not we have whether we have the wherewithal to do it, whether we should accept the risk in doing that. And at the end of that, there was a lot of testimony that said, even from the state folks, it said, it'd be nice if the capital of the state could do something along the lines of a state fair for our sesquicentennial year that starts this Nevada Day and continues through next Nevada Day. So the board unanimously agreed that we would provide the seed money, but we also, as part of that motion, required that the general fund be paid back either through the vendor fees or some other mechanism where we could replenish the contingency fund for that seed money. It looks like there's a good group of individuals that want to see this happen, including our local 4-H clubs, and a lot of school people in our school system, and a lot of people who have experience with other state fairs, particularly the one in Reno. And so I think that, as Deputy City Manager Work said this, and the City Manager said, it's a risk, there's no doubt about it. But I think that, given the level of talent that looks to be behind this, that the risk is acceptable, and it's something I think that I believe that the board's thought that we should do for our sesquicentennial celebration as it goes forward next year to help with the state as well. And we'll see if we can get some NCOT grants, Nevada Commission on Tourism grants as well. So that's one thing that happened. The other thing was that we heard from the business leaders on both the Highway 50 East corridor and the Carson Street North corridor, and listened for about an hour, hour and a half about what they believe to be their requirements for development of their area to create a better gateway into our community, so that it would create a memorable impression and a lasting impression, and be someplace where it would entice people to go down into our community and obviously participate in our economy. Most of that centered around landscaping, signage, sidewalks, and other infrastructure requirements as such. And we heard that from both the east and the north. I'm told that we will now hear also from the southern business leaders at the next board meeting about what their thoughts are as well. And the idea is to see if there is a way where we can coordinate the development in our community so that it's not just downtown, but it's all of our areas in town going forward, to see if we can make sure that Carson City retains its place as the place to be in our state, and that we have a good, beautiful face to present to visitors who want to come here to work, live, play, and, as I said, participate in our economy. So we'll be hearing more about that. The board adopted those plans and asked those business leaders, and it is a grassroots plan. It's not a city plan. It's a grassroots plan from those business leaders to see if they could get a little broader depth among the businesses that are in those areas to participate in their discussions, and then come back, bring that, and then kind of synthesize their ideas, talk to city staff after they've got some ideas, and see if the city staff can help fine-tune those in terms of what can be done or can't be done. And then if we move forward on development issues, we'll have an idea that the entire community is moving forward and not just one area. And I think that was important for all of us on the board to know that we're not just looking at one, we're looking at multiple areas. So that was a long discussion, and I want to say publicly thank the business leaders who organized those meetings. It's very important that these things be started and created at the grassroots level, at their level, because they're the ones who know what their particular areas need. So I look forward to hearing more about that, and we'll be looking forward to having more finalized and detailed plans as time goes on. That's about what happened at the last board meeting. The next board meeting is, I think, on the 17th. I can't be there on the 17th because I have an unavoidable conflict that I have to be out of town. So the Mayor Pro Tem, Supervisor Abad, will be conducting that meeting. I don't like to miss meetings, but when they're unavoidable, it's just unavoidable. So in closing, let me say thanks to each and every one of you for what you do to make our community a better place to live, work, play, and enjoy. As I've frequently mentioned on this program, government can't do it all, and it shouldn't be doing it all, and it can't be expected to do it all. We are a great city because of what each of you out there in the listening audience and all of our residents and citizens do to make Carson City a better place to live and improve our quality of life. I think we heard from the business leaders that spoke that sense of community and sense of place is important. We gain that through your efforts, and again, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, as a longtime resident here, thank you again for everything that you do. And I will see you the next time I'm on It's Your City. Thank you.